Hi, Executive Chef Miguel Mazzi here. This is my Dominican kitchen. Thanks for joining. Today we're going to be making two awesome Dominican dishes. The first one is going to be chicken and cheese filled empanadas. The second is going to be fried plantain tostones. For the empanadas, we're going to be using one whole chicken. We're going to be using some green onions, some cilantro, about 12 ounces of cream cheese, 2 fresh jalapenos, some cumin, salt and pepper, half a red bell pepper, some cheese, preferably cheddar. American does fine, cheddar's the best. All wrapped up in puff pastries. For the tostones, you'll see what we're going to be doing to these guys. Alright, let's go ahead and start off by chopping up some of the ingredients here on my little cutting board. I've already gone ahead and added the cream cheese and the cheddar cheese. You get about 4 ounces of diced up and shredded cheddar cheese and about 12 ounces of cream cheese. And we're just going to go ahead and start cutting up the red bell pepper here. Just pretty much dice it up as best as you can. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and chop up the onions now that we've got the jalapenos and the peppers all chopped up. Alright, just go ahead and chop up the cilantro as fine as you can get it. Empanadas are one of the more common dishes just about made in every household in the Dominican Republic. They can be made with chicken, beef, seafood, vegetables, potatoes, cheese, just about anything that you can stuff inside them. Here at the restaurant, we're just going to make some empanadas about the size for appetizers. You can make larger ones or ones for whole meals like lunch or dinner. But you want to make sure that you really cut up all the ingredients very well and make them as fine as you can get them, because they're going to go in little puff pastries about the size of a fist. So you want to really make sure that all the ingredients are very finely chopped so that everything can be stuffed inside and you won't have any one ingredient just towering over in the empanada. Alright, went ahead and mixed all the diced up vegetables in with the cheddar cheese and the cream cheese, and now I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting up the chicken to go in the empanadas. And you want to keep the pieces moderately small because they are going to be going in tiny little puff pastries. Once you get all the chicken cut up, you're going to want to mix it in with the vegetables and the cheese so you can start filling up the empanadas. The chicken needs to be fully cooked, deboned, and deskinned. Otherwise, you might have some unpleasant encounters while eating the empanadas if you don't take all the bones out. You really want to get the chicken really cut up. You don't want any big pieces of chicken. You want it all small and diced up. Alright, now that you've got all the chicken ground up, you're going to want to go ahead and add it to the rest of the mixture. And we're going to go ahead and add some salt and pepper and a tablespoon of ground cumin. And cumin is a famous spice throughout the Latin American world, all throughout Mexico and Central and Southern America. And it's a very aromatic spice. It's very exotic, and you can't miss it if you put it in something. Alright, now we're just going to go ahead and mix this all together. You really want to make sure all the ingredients are really well incorporated. One of the best ways to do this is to just mash it together with your hands. It's a little gross. Some people don't like doing it, but for good food you gotta get messy. Alright, now that you've got all the ingredients mixed together, you get to start forming the empanadas, but you're going to need a few extra things. You're going to need some flour to start off with. You're going to need a rolling pin. You're going to need some sort of pastry cutout kind of ravioli dish to basically form the empanadas. You're going to need a separate cutting board that you did not cut up your chicken or your vegetables on, because this is for the pastries. And you're going to need some egg wash, which is basically one stirred up egg with about a little bit of water in it to keep the pastry together once you start forming it. And make sure your cutting board has got about a splash of flour on it because you don't want your pastry to get stuck. Make sure you get some flour on your hands. And you're going to want to take this piece of pastry and divide it into 3 pieces long ways as it comes. And you're going to want to take one of the 3 pieces and see how it fits on the pastry cutout of the ravioli dish here. And we're a little short, which was to be expected, so that's what we got our rolling pin here for. We get to roll out a little piece of dough. Let's go ahead and see if it fits on the little cutter. And look at that. Nice little fit. So you want to place the dimpler on top of the pastry, lightly apply pressure. You don't want to rip the pastry through the bottom. And then gently take it off. You should have a couple little pockets. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and start adding the empanada filling. You're going to want to take about a tablespoon of the ingredient, the mixtures, and kind of place it in the center of the dimple here. You do not want to add too much of the filling because it might burst the pastry. It might just explode while it's cooking in the oven. And once you get a good number of pastry fillings in there, you're going to want to take your egg wash. You're going to want to go around the edges of the pastry. And now that you've got your empanada fillings all in the pocket, you're going to want to take your second piece of pastry. Make sure you have an ample amount of flour on your cutting board and the pastry here. And you're going to want to flatten this piece out so that it's going to go on the top of the other pastry. Now that you've done this a couple times, really hard to just cut those edges off. You're going to want to flip this upside down. And you got the little pockets. You're just going to want to pop them out. That is my security system. Now that you've got your empanadas all formed up and ready to go, you're going to want to space them about 2 to 3 inches apart on a parchment-lined cookie sheet. And then you're going to want to take your egg wash and just brush the top of each one. And doing this when they are cooking in the oven, it's really going to turn the tops of these just golden brown, just crisp them up really nice. Alright, now that we've got the egg wash on there, I'm going to go ahead and head on over to the oven. It's 350 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes. Alright, now it's time to move on to our second dish, tostones, which is basically fried and flattened plantains. Now, plantains kind of look like a banana, but trust me, they're not a banana, and they're nowhere near as easy to peel as a banana. It took me about 2 minutes just to peel this guy one right here. So now that you've got your seasoned oil, you're going to want to throw in the plantains. And you're going to want to just get them about golden brown, or lightly golden brown on all sides. Flip them over about once or twice. Now the empanadas have started to change in color, almost turning dark yellow. So we're going to flip them over. I'll give them a good 180. Just get them about the same color on the bottom side, and then we're going to take them out and we're going to squash them. Alright, now that you've got the plantains out, you're going to want to maintain the heat in your pan. Keep the oil to the temperature it's at. Keep it pretty up there. And you're going to want to take something pretty heavy, or something you feel comfortable you can smash these guys with. And give it a good even push down. Oh yeah. Just smush them down, flatten them like a pancake. Just throw them right back in the pan. Crisp these bad boys up. And now the tostones have been cooking for about 4 minutes. I've flipped them. You can see they're pretty crispy, pretty golden brown. Go ahead and take them out. Stick them on a paper towel. And we've finished cooking the empanadas. We've pulled them out of the oven. It turned out great. No explosions, no ruptures. And we finished the tostones. And we're going to go ahead and get these guys on a plate here. And we like to serve everything hot here at my restaurant. But these tostones and empanadas can be served at room temperature. They can be put in a cooler. They're great for picnics, car trips, car rides, basically anything, anywhere. They're great. So here you are. Two very, very common dishes here in the Dominican Republic. Chicken and cheese empanadas and crushed and flattened plantain tostones. And I am Executive Chef Miguel Mazzi. This is my Dominican kitchen. Thanks for joining.